So guys, let me just tell you something right now. I will tell you this just straight up right now. If I got 233,000 views on one of my videos, I would throw myself off a bridge. Not in a bad way. In celebration. Like, I would be so excited and celebrational that I wouldn't know what to do. And I would just jump off a bridge. Michaela Peterson, effortlessly, in 3 days, 233,000 views. Boy!
Why?
GetSuperleaf.com/MP, code MP. They're
Why?
also linked below.
Why?
Enjoy this episode. Russell Peters and Jordan Peterson, you're welcome.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Michaela. Oh my God. Bless you. You bestowed this beautiful bounty on us from on high.
You're welcome.
Ooh.
You're welcome.
All praise is due to Allah to Michaela.
You're welcome.
She really is right to say you're welcome and get 230,000 views for this, because this thing is just crackling with charisma.
So where are you right now?
I'm in Atlanta. I'll be 51 this year. That's a different pot of shit on its own. So
I like LA.
A lot of people are really into Jordy Peterson still. They still really like Jordy Peterman. I'm a Michaela guy. I'm more of a Michaela guy because I love her because she is just a walking, breathing example of everything Jordy Peterson talks about, which is work your way up the hierarchy. Personal competence. Individual personal competence. That's what gets you places. If somebody has a high position or they have like a lot of followers on YouTube, for example, or they make a lot of money selling Kratom for like 4 minutes in the beginning of their video, they earned that. They earned that through their competency, working up the hierarchy. She's definitely an example of that. Like, all her followers came not because of the random dice roll of who she was born to, but because Michaela Peterson absolutely would not be working at whatever the equivalent of H&M is in Canada if her dad was not Jordy Peterson. Jordy Peterstone. Jordy Peter Cold Stone Creamery. So to quote the great Alexander Jones, "Boogalaka booga blah 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 blah."
Boogalaka booga blah 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 blah.
On and on. They're interviewing Russell Peters, the comedian who sells out these like giant arenas and so on, etc. I'll say this: I like Russell Peters.
I'm going to gain full access to your laptop remotely.
How would you describe Russell Peters? Everybody who watches this, I sort of think of him as like the Pixar of comedy. Like, you watch it and you're like, that's good. You're laughing at it while you're watching it. You're like, I am enjoying this. But then you leave and you're like, what was it again?
But there are some advantages to living in Canada.
I think the advantage, it being Canada, that's the advantage.
This is where it gets really interesting is Jordan Peterson, his whole thing, really, if you connect the dots, is basically like, he's kind of saying American capitalism is perfect. Like, why would you be defending a hierarchy? Like, what's the hierarchy in his, 20-year-old, 25-year-old, 27-year-old audiences? What's the hierarchy that they're dealing with? Their boss. A boss. And who's his enemy? Marx. A guy who wrote a critical examination and explanation of capitalism. So, I kind of connect the dots a little bit there together. So, I think this little turn that this takes, that Russell Peters takes, makes there's a little awkward silence coming up.
It's funny to me when I hear all the Americans go, we're not turning into a socialist country. It's socialism. And I'm like, it's really not that bad, guys. It's really not that bad, guys. You see how your teeth are crooked and your spine is broken? Well, it wouldn't be like that in Canada because we're socialist assholes. And the taxes are it's like the same now. I mean, at least in Canada, you pay high taxes, you get something for it. You get better roads and you get health care. Over here, you get nothing. You might just get shot. That's about it.
I'm ready to move somewhere warmer. I thought Texas is looking pretty nice.
Texas is pretty cool, though. I do like Texas. I do. You're not wrong, Michaela.
I'm ready to move somewhere warmer.
Uh-oh. Michaela, get us out of this.
I thought Texas is looking pretty nice.
Texas is pretty cool, though. I do like Texas.
Russell Peters just brings up a pretty interesting point. Hey, we don't even really pay higher taxes, and we have the health care and blah, 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 blah. Michaela and JP look at each other, and they say, Texas. Texas? Texas? I mean, there's only one explanation to that interaction, which is, we don't want to talk about this. Because we live in Canada, and we take advantage of what you're talking about. You know, that there's actually kind of a slightly less demented approach to being in a society. But our fans, a lot of them live in the United States, and we're kind of telling them the opposite of all of this crap. So, shh.
Why?
Zip it, Russell. Russell!
This is bullshit.
Is Russell Peters so popular in the United States just because we just like hearing people do an Indian accent? Is that why he's so popular? Is doing an Indian accent Russell Peters' Come On Eileen? Like you go to see that, whatever that band was, they're like, just do Come On Eileen. Just do an Indian accent already. We don't want to hear all this crap. I do feel like some of these people who Jordy Peterman talks to, I feel like this is almost like they do this to kind of like, they're like, yeah, this guy's like too easy to kind of mess with. I don't even need to like put too much effort into kind of just deflating all his crap.
Well, it wouldn't be like that in Canada because we're socialist assholes. And the taxes are it's like the same now. I mean, at least in Canada, you pay high taxes, you get something for it. You get better roads and you get health care.
Why?
Over here, you get nothing. You might just get shot. That's about it.
Why?
I'm ready to move somewhere warmer. I thought Texas is looking pretty nice.
Texas is pretty cool, though. I do like Texas. I do. You're not wrong, Michaela.
So how has your comedy changed and shifted over the...
That is like, it's like being at like an in-laws house or something. Like it's Thanksgiving, you go to the in-laws house and they start talking about some weird crap. It's like watching that subject change, but like recorded in a 23,000 people. Fucking, what's wrong with me? 230,000 people have watched it. And look at Russell Peters. He's just like, okay, I guess we're not talking about this. I guess we're all, whoops. I forgot your audience is a bunch of right-wing 18-year-olds. And by the way, Michaela, Jordy, you guys if you do decide to move to Texas, hit me up because I need to spread my YouTube channel numbers. I would party with them because I feel like they're both just full of crap on their YouTube channels and their podcasts and all this stuff. I bet, if we just went out to some place we drink margaritas, they would start acting normal. Man, what an easy move. I mean, she loads this thing with a 2-minute ad up front.
From Toronto, this is the last one. If you do enjoy this, please remember to hit subscribe. This episode is brought to you by Super Speciosa, a kratom company. Kratom is a herb related to the coffee plant. The leaves are extract.
This is a little bit of a problemo we have, even with podcasts that I really like, with people who I really respect, is let's put a little production quality into some of this stuff. Let's wake up before we start recording. I'm just saying, not giving anyone specific a hard time.
Why?
Hey, but let's put a little. You have access to you have access to camera equipment and production equipment that filmmakers and musicians would gouge their own eyes out to have, just 20 years ago, just 30 years ago. Let's put a little effort into it. Let's put a little bit of work into this crap. Let's try at least maybe like standing up when we do our podcast. And maybe like getting a drink or smoking a cigarette, maybe after you record. So it's not like right in my ear hole when I try to give your dumb thing a listen. Like, honestly, I was thinking about this. I was like, if my dad was Jordy Peterson, and I'm like, I want to parlay this into a social media career, I would be like, okay, look, People are going to give me a lot of crap about this, deserved crap that I'm just riding coattails. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to prove them wrong. I'm going to be good at broadcasting. I'm going to write jokes. I'm going to be awake when I record these things. You know, I'm not just going to be like laid back and, how did you get into comedy? Like, I'm going to actually bring it. I'm going to bring some engagement. I'm going to learn this stuff. I'm going to get good at this stuff. I'm going to prove everybody that, like, at least that's what I would do. The kind of just entitled, like, Jordy Peterson's my dad, so I don't even have to try. I could literally be laying down, like, taking a dump, both laying down and taking a dump at the same time, and do this interview because Jordy Peterson, a guy who, you know, has a following that they'll literally click on anything, will just, you know, do my Patreon and click on my ads or whatever. Unbelievable, truly. Also, I watched one Jordy Peterson video like months ago to make fun of it, and it's just like, this came recommended to me. So, you know, is the YouTube algorithm and all this stuff a problem? Yeah, but it doesn't seem like it's a problem for the people who are whining about it the most. You know what I mean?
Why? Why?
So, I highly recommend, I don't know, I don't even know what I was going to say there. Check out Russell Peters' latest special, doing Indian accents. That's his new special. I like him, though. I like Russell Peters. Very funny. I'm not going to give him a hard time. Good guy. And I will talk to you guys later.
Booga laka booga blah 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 blah.
Hey everybody, and thanks so much for watching this video. Like all the other YouTube and podcast perverts, I now have a Patreon. Every week on this Patreon, I'm uploading 2
exclusive
Patreon exclusive shows. They're like real shows, more produced, more edited.
a behind-the-scenes show where I reveal all my secrets, and a show where we go deep on an important topic that you will want to know about. Also, you get the daily and complete live show audio-only feeds. And at the top level, for only 25 bones, you can become a producer. These people that you're seeing right here make this program possible. Without them, nothing. It goes right in the toilet, right in the trash, and we set it on fire. It's these people who make it work. So please, for Christ's sake, become a patron. Bye-bye, love you.